My name's Riley Misnansky. I'm a wife and a mother. I have 4 kids. My 2 oldest are twin boys who are autistic. They're 22, and my daughters are 10 and 16. When I saw the Studio 5 post on Facebook about women who feel overwhelmed and how do you not lose yourself and taking care of your family, I really felt like I had to respond to that. When you choose to be a mom, you choose all of the busyness and the chaos that goes along with that. I may not have time to exercise or scrapbook or shop or whatever I did maybe before I had kids, but look at the reason why. It's because I've been blessed with children. You have to decide what's important to you, what's really essential and what's not. It's essential that I take a shower every day. It's not essential that I get a pedicure. It's essential that I have appropriate things to wear, but it's not essential that I shop for something new every week. I don't want to judge other women because you never know what their life is like and what their needs are. But for me, I'm living the dream. I get me time 24/7 because I'm doing exactly what I chose to do, and that's be a mom.
It's a different perspective on a topic that hits close to for many women. Therapist Julie Hanks is joining us again to weigh in on this controversial topic.
I gotta tell you, I think Riley makes a really good point. Let me ask you this, though. Does mom time qualify as me time?
I think it depends on the woman. And obviously for her, and you know, I'm actually kind of jealous of those women. I've had friends where going to their kids' soccer games, that is like that just fills them. And I like it, you know, it's great, but there are other things that also fill me, and so I'm kind of jealous of that.
I don't question the need and the necessity for me time. I get that, but I feel like in this society, would you agree there's maybe a small group of women, I'll call it a small group of women, that are almost pushing this idea to the limits.
Yes.
They want it all.
Yes.
Is that realistic?
No, I mean, I think there needs to be a balance, and one thing that I'm really big on is redefining selfish. I think we misapply that word. So many women say, well, I don't want to be selfish, or that's selfish. Selfish is doing what's in your best interest without regard for others. So if you're disregarding others just to take care of yourself, that is selfish. But doing what's in your best interest with regard for those you love is not selfish. It's just smart. I love the analogy, you know, recharging a battery, or cars need tune-ups. If you just drive your car without taking care of it, it will break down, and so will you, emotionally and physically.
Let me get sort of a men's point of view. I never hear men talking about needing me time. And when I get home from work, I spend whatever my time here at work, I race back home, maybe get some time on the treadmill, and that's about the extent of any time that I have to myself. But am I cheating myself on me time, or does that count as me time, and the rest of my time is given to working to provide for my family or doing homework and being with them in the evening? Yeah.
Do you feel that there's something missing? I think that's the question, or does it feel like a good balance for you?
I don't feel like anything's missing, but I also don't feel like I get me time.
Okay, but do you drive 20 minutes to and from work by yourself?
On a bus with a bunch of other people, but yeah, there is some quiet time there.
You know, that's sometimes enough, just to have some downtime. You can listen to what you want. So I remember that what a treat it was to drive for 10 minutes by myself in the car. So maybe you're getting that, and are you feeling guilty when you're on the treadmill?
No.
Okay, so maybe that's your you time.
Generally speaking, do men need this too? We're talking about women needing this. Generally speaking, do most men need this as well?
I think every human being needs to look at themselves and decide, okay, what do I need to really feel alive in my life? And it's going to vary. And a lot of people get that from their work. You know, it's interesting, Riley said, you know, find out what's essential and what's not, and I think that's a personality style too. For me, the non-essentials are what make life fun. Like, being on Studio 5 today is not essential, but it sure is fun, and it's part of why I feel like I'm on the planet. So for me, the non-essentials are really important too. You know?
You even asked a couple of questions. Is that sort of like a little self-test that people can do? Analyzing yourself, do you feel like you're missing something? Do you feel like that? And if you have that, then maybe you need to have a little more balance check?
Yeah. The best question that I've come up with is, what brings you joy? And for Riley, her family brings her joy, period. And that's awesome. That's wonderful. And other people, depending on their personality, their history, circumstances, might have other things in addition to their family that bring them joy. And I'm one of them.
We live in a saturated Mormon community, and I'm curious, for a lot of Mormon women, I know that serving their family, that's part of their faith. That's part of their conviction, not just to their family, but to their God. Do you think that makes it harder for women to carve out this time?
I do, but I think it's a misinterpreted. Self-neglect is not part of Mormon doctrine. You know, sacrifice is, okay? So when you have families, that requires sacrifice and shifting of priorities, but it doesn't require self-neglect. And what happens is I work with women all the time. They've neglected themselves, so then they eventually become a burden on those they're supposed to take care of because they're so depressed, or they have physical problems because they've neglected themselves. So if your goal is to take care of people, then you have to take care of yourself so you have the longevity to continue to offer yourself to others.
I love Riley's viewpoint. Do you think people can learn that viewpoint? And rather than feeling this emptiness inside, do you think they can learn to gain that fulfillment by losing themselves in serving other people?
I think you can. I mean, I think there's a skill in learning to want what you have. And having me time isn't going to fill every void in you. I mean, some people have holes that are going to require therapy, or they're going to require other kinds of things. But I think it's just really important to know that you're a person and to prioritize the things that bring you joy. What gets you excited about waking up in the morning?
Prioritizing joy. I like that.
Prioritize joy. And for me, that's kind of my guide. And when I'm not finding joy in my family, I have to take a look at that and go, gosh, what do I need to do to feel more joy and make that a priority?
And
I need to play with them more. I need to,
I think that's exactly what makes it work for Riley, is she's found what her joy is as well, even though that's losing herself and being a mother and loving the things that she does
and that feeds her, and that is great. And it's so important not to judge other women because, like I said, everyone has different backgrounds, different stories, different personalities, talents, needs. And so you really have to tune in with yourself and make sure that your family's taken care of, and that you are taken care of.
Julie, great perspective, and we're grateful for your non-essentials. We're grateful that you put those on your list too.
Stay here.
Stay here with us. Thanks, Julie. This conversation is not over. You can chat live with Julie on the Studio 5 Facebook page. For the next hour, Julie will be online answering your questions and offering advice.
And we'll be right back on Studio 5.